Hi, so you're thinking about taking the Amtrak auto train from Lorton, Virginia to Sanford, Florida, or vice versa, but you're not sure if it's the right way to travel for you? Stick around because I'm going to give you a cost analysis breakdown to see if this is in fact the right way for you to travel. Here we go. And my name is Stephanie, and if this is your first time to the channel, be sure to click subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you can stay informed on everything there is to know about living here in Central Florida and visiting, of course. And if you are looking to make the move to Central Florida, feel free to reach out because I'd love to assist you on your home search journey. So let's get into it. A few weeks back, I created a video on the Amtrak auto train and our experience in a roomette, and I had a ton of feedback, and I wanted to share a little bit more with you in terms of the cost analysis because several people reached out and said, well, what did it cost? So I'm going to give you that breakdown right now and go over all the little details. If you are looking for a general overview of our experience and what to expect on the auto train, be sure to check out my video that I'm going to link above and also down in the description below in case you're looking more for that overview. Now, a few years ago, my family and I relocated down to Central Florida, just outside of Sanford, Florida, from the Northeast, right outside of Philadelphia. And prior to that, we had a home in two locations for a while, but we would frequent down to Florida and travel. And we really never took the auto train. We would always drive or primarily fly. And when we started going back and forth and started taking vehicles, we decided, you know what, we're gonna give the auto train a shot because it's been on our list. And we had a great experience with it. Now, other viewers have commented and their experiences maybe weren't as great and others were excellent and do it all the time. So it really is subjective based on your personal experiences, your preferences, and same is going to go with this breakdown with the cost analysis. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Okay, so this is going to depend on a variety of factors. It's going to depend on how early you book, the capacity of the train, the direction of travel, the type of accommodations that you book. There are many factors like airfare that go into determining the price. So if you are thinking it's one size fits all, please know that's not the case. There's not a definitive price across the board. So when we traveled in early April, we booked very last minute, about a day and a half in advance, and it cost just under $1,000 for the two of us with the standard vehicle. A roomette is very comparable to the airfare at the time. So when we factored in the cost of the luggage and the seats and obviously the flights, all of that came to be very comparable, because we were so last minute, to what the train would cost. Now keep in mind, if you are traveling in the same direction as the crowd, you're going to pay higher rates. So for example, if you're traveling down to Florida in the fall or winter, you're going to be migrating down with most of the snowbirds. So capacity on the train will likely be higher and you're going to pay more money. Same is true the opposite, coming back up north in the spring when the weather starts to get nicer up north. You will be paying more coming back to Virginia at that time. Now keep in mind, if time is of the essence for you, then you should definitely fly. If you are looking for a way to get there cheap, then driving is probably your best option. But if you are not on a time constraint and you are looking at taking the train as a whole, incorporate that as part of your experience. Make the travel on the train part of the vacation, not just a way of traveling to get there. So if you keep that in mind, I hope these tips help. Now, I did run some comps so you can see if this makes sense for you and your family. Don't shoot the messenger. I am not an auto train expert by any means, but I did just want to share this since so many viewers did ask for the cost breakdown. So let's go take a look. So the first thing that I ran was the train down to Sanford with a standard vehicle in a roomette for two people. So a roomette is its own private room, which has two seats that convert into two bunk beds essentially. and that includes a dinner and a continental breakfast in the morning. So with that said, the total to travel from Lorton, Virginia down to Sanford on the auto train tomorrow, the train has 50% capacity, so there's still plenty of room, and they are running the special for coach passengers at $19 a seat, so excluding that, to do the roomette overnight, all in all, with a standard vehicle, so a roomette for two with a standard vehicle, including those two meals, came to a total of $907. Now, if we were going the opposite way from Florida, from Sanford up to Lorton, Virginia, the rooms are sold out. The train's at 90% capacity, but you can still travel coach for $19 a seat. So keep that in mind. If you do travel coach, you don't get the dinner, but you do get a continental breakfast. So still not a bad way to travel. Now, that does not include the standard vehicle of $225 for traveling in June. Now, again, many snowbirds are coming back up north because now it's really hot and humid down in Florida, but I don't mind that. Now, when I looked at flights from Washington, D.C. airport to Orlando International Airport for two people with a seat and a checked bag on United Airlines, it came to $535. Now, that does not include a car. So I ran the numbers to rent a car for a week since a car is not included with the flight. And that was another $243. So that was the base level car, the cheapest that I could find. So all in all, that's coming out to be about $779. So it is slightly cheaper to fly last minute on the flight and get there sooner in comparison to the auto train. Now, if you drive, obviously this is very subjective. If you're gonna drive straight through overnight, if you're gonna stop and sit down at meals, because food is included on the auto train with the roomette versus a coach ticket. So depending on if you plan to stop overnight on your drive or not, what you eat, if it's quick grab and go type of thing, if you pack your own food, all of these things are gonna factor in. But a general overview, you're looking at a few $100s in gas, again, if you have a standard vehicle versus a diesel, right? So everything is going to vary, but it's definitely cheaper to drive if that's an option for you. Now, standard vehicles, about $225 on the auto train. A third row or pickup truck is $255, and then a motorcycle is $155. You can pay for priority offloading for an additional $95. So I ran the numbers for about 5 months out. So I looked at November, which is definitely a time when more people are traveling down to Florida. And if you were to travel from Lorton, Virginia to Florida, Sanford, Florida on the auto train, November 4th, which is a weekend, you would be looking at about $190 for a coach ticket for two. And again, that includes your complimentary breakfast, no dinner. You would then add on your vehicle. Standard vehicle is $285 at that time. And then the roomette, which is what I've been using to compare across, is $569 for two. And then you would add for the standard vehicle, or depending on what type of vehicle you want to pay for. So when I ran the numbers, the capacity at this point on the train is about 20%, so it's not very full. And all in all, with a roomette for two people, which includes dinner and breakfast and a standard vehicle, you were looking at about $854. Reverse from Sanford to Lorton, Virginia, you were looking at $681 for a roomette for two people. Now a flight, again, the same flight as before, United from Washington to Orlando International, you with seats and a checked bag for two people, you were looking at $364. And then if you factored in a car rental at that time, which was a bit pricier, upward of $300, you were looking at a total of $900 for the car rental for the week and the airfare. So again, this is subjective depending on what your needs are. I'm just giving you a broad general overview of comparison. The train is pretty comparable to flights depending on when you travel. It's how early you book, its capacity, and you can make the final decision. Now, all in all, it's going to depend on many factors. So if cost is your primary focus, then it's definitely cheaper to drive. If time is of the essence, then it's definitely a better idea to fly. But if you're looking for a relaxing, stress-free way of traveling with little ones or without, I highly recommend taking the auto train. Just keep in mind that it pays to book early most times. It definitely helps if you can travel against the crowd, so opposite of the snowbirds, and you should be well on your way to having an enjoyable, relaxing, and fun experience getting to Florida or back up north. And if you have traveled the auto train or you do travel the auto train, drop a comment below. Let us know your experiences. I know some are great and some are not, and that's okay. We would love to hear the feedback. But in terms of cost analysis, value, if you think it's worth it, let us know in the comments below. I hope you found value in this video, and if you did, don't forget to click subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you can stay informed on everything there is to know about living here and traveling to Central Florida. And if you are in the market to shop for a home down here, I would love to help you on your home search journey to help make your move to Florida a smooth one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.